So we have been doing some pretty close polling data coverage, and amazingly, astonishingly, I should say, Bernie Sanders is literally surging in poll after poll. I did a video where I flew through like 4 or 5 different polls, being like, look at this. Bernie leads here, 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 here. So Bernie Sanders has recently been polling, significantly well in Iowa, New Hampshire, and California. So the early states he is doing amazing in. Now, it also turns out that nationally, he is surging. So this is actually an Iowa poll that was, funny enough, conducted by Pod Save America. If you don't know Pod Save America, it's basically the most centrist, corporate Democrat, establishment Democrat podcast you can come across. They were the guys who host this podcast were literally Obama admin guys. So it's funny that their Iowa poll comes out with Bernie at 27%, Buttigieg at 19%, Biden at 18%, Warren at 15%, and Klobuchar at 10%. So he's, up by 8 points, which is a pretty solid margin for Bernie Sanders. A very, very solid margin in Iowa. And again, this is a poll conducted by Pod Save America and Change Polls. Now we get another one. This comes from Quinnipiac, okay? And Bernie is actually moving up in this poll. So it has Biden at 26, Bernie at 21, Warren at 15. And then it goes on here. But as you can see, he's +2 in this poll, and he's only at a 5% deficit nationally. And that's the Real Clear Politics average. So it seems to be the case that average-wise, in terms of how much of a deficit is he in nationally, it's only like 5 points, which is very significant that he's able to be down just by 5 points. Very, very impressive. Very, very impressive work here from Bernie, which is really awesome because, he was down by like 10 points and 8 points and 12 points. Now he's actually fucking cutting into the lead, which is a beautiful thing to behold. Another one, New Hampshire poll, ARG poll, American Research Group. Sanders at 28, Biden's at 13, Buttigieg is at 12, Warren's at 11, Gabbard's at 8, which is interesting. But as you can see here, Bernie is winning this in a body bag. None of the other candidates even make it to 15%. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, but doesn't that mean they get no delegates? It's a little bit confusing. Basically, it's like you'll get some delegates if you have 15% in a congressional district. It's a bit confusing, honestly, because there's the state threshold and then there's the congressional district threshold. And it's like, fuck. It's a little bit crazy. So they would end up with a couple of delegates probably. I don't know how big the split would be. But, I'm hoping that Biden comes in third. I'm hoping that it goes Sanders, Buttigieg, Biden, and then Warren. That would be ideal, I think, because if Biden is in third, that really plays into the narrative that he's not doing so well. And then that, sort of changes everything in front of, New Hampshire. So, and the numbers will probably go up in New Hampshire even more. Remember, Bernie Sanders demolished Hillary Clinton last time around. And once he wins Iowa, it's going to be pretty big here. But this is a huge lead. This is a massive lead, dude. Huge. Fucking huge. And then we got a Cali poll that just came out. UC Berkeley, okay? One of, if not the top university in the country, college in the country, has Bernie at 26, Warren at 20, Biden at 15, Buttigieg at 7, and then blah, 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 blah. So these numbers actually make sense. California definitely, I think, is feeling the burn. And I think these numbers make sense. California does not seem to be very big on Joe Biden. It seems to be big on Bernie and Warren, which makes sense because Warren is for those woke avocado toast eating, latte, Starbucks, drinking woke liberals. And Bernie is for the real folk, although a lot of Bernie's folks in California are woke as well. But they're obviously not cringy because they're voting for Bernie. So poll after poll. I don't even remember the last time Bernie wasn't number one in a California poll. So that means Bernie's going to take Iowa, then he's going to take New Hampshire. I hope to God he takes Nevada, because if he does, that'd be 3 in a row. Then comes up Super Tuesday. By then, the narrative is so much change. And by the way, already Super Tuesday total estimates, he's down 2 points. And that's prior to the first 3 elections, all right, the first one being a caucus in Iowa, which he does really well in caucuses, and I believe Nevada's a caucus as well, and he always does well in caucuses, so that's a good sign. If he picks up 3 states in a row, changes the game. And already he's doing amazing in terms of Super Tuesday numbers. Again, he's down 2 in a poll that came out. So, man, we are in a really good position. But again, I have to end this off as I always do. Don't slow down now. Don't take a break. You know, now's the time to floor the gas pedal. Donate to Bernie Sanders. Knock on doors. The easiest thing you can do, convince your friends and family to vote for him. That's the easiest thing that you can possibly do. All right, you do that. You can phone bank. I don't know if I already said that. Knock on doors. Donate. All that stuff. Okay, all that good stuff. And now is the time. All right? So, this is really amazing news. Let's keep fighting.